now at 6, another round of snow is heading our way. Gary has more on when it's coming and how much to expect.
As President Biden has said, we will defend every inch of NATO territory.
And Ukraine's president speaks with U.S. senators while the White House makes their mission clear for Eastern Europe. Plus, the Freedom Convoy makes their way through Madison. What's next for these truckers? It's all coming up at 6. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's a bit warmer this weekend, but we're on a little bit of a weather roller coaster with showers, thunderstorms, and chances for snow all in about a 2-day span. Now let's head straight out to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulty, who's got your certified most accurate forecast.
Yeah, Brad, we had our first severe thunderstorm warnings of the year issued just within the last hour. Let's start out by taking a look at Doppler, and you can see that there is a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect into Fond du Lac County. Looks like the warning now has been allowed to actually been canceled for Green Lake, Columbia, and Dodge counties as the storm moves into the western portion of Fond du Lac County. But that storm was producing hail up to about the size of quarters as it moved from near Prairie du Sac and raced northeastward now as into the western portion of Fond du Lac County. But you can see more showers and thunderstorms, especially to the west and southwest. In fact, a tornado watch is in effect for parts of southern Iowa until 8 p.m. tonight. And we may see the potential for another round of severe weather as those storms in Iowa reach us sometime later on this evening. This morning, temperatures started out cold enough for a mix of snow and freezing rain for our northern viewing area with rain elsewhere, but now temperatures are near their highs for the day. Lower 50s in Madison, but lower 60s near the Illinois state line. And with that temperature contrast in place, temperatures still around 50 here in Madison or a little bit above. The winds will start blowing, so wind advisories are in effect later on tonight for our western viewers and overnight into early Sunday morning for all of the rest of southern Wisconsin. And we have an alert day in the forecast for Sunday night and Monday for snow on the backside of this system that could bring 1 to 4 inches of accumulation with the heaviest amounts down toward the Illinois state line. So look for showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms during the evening hours, then windy overnight. The showers may mix with a few flakes of snow before ending overnight. Low temperature will drop into the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be a colder day with a high of 41, but again, that snow arrives later on tomorrow evening. I'll have more on the timing of that in just a few minutes.
Busy few days for Gary Canulty and the weather team. New developments tonight on the war in Ukraine. This is new video of a Russian plane landing in Washington, D.C. this afternoon. The government says it's bringing 13 Russian diplomats living in the U.S. back to Russia. Right now, U.S. airspace is closed to Russian planes, but the government made an exception so the expelled diplomats could go home. Meanwhile, the shelling continues in Ukraine as the government there accuses Russia of violating a ceasefire. Cole Higgins has the latest on President Zelensky's call to the U.S. for help.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky again calling for U.S. assistance in establishing a no-fly zone in his country and harsher sanctions on Russia.
What else is needed to make this decision?
Zelensky pleading with U.S. lawmakers during an hour-long Zoom call Saturday morning.
The president emphasized that the oil and gas sector of Russia needs to be sanctioned. Anything that could hurt the Russian economy will help the Ukrainian people.
Russian President Vladimir Putin calling the sanctions already introduced on his country, quote, equivalent of a declaration of war. Putin also says he would consider countries imposing a no-fly zone over Ukraine as participating in the conflict. The U.S. and NATO say they still oppose implementing a no-fly zone over Ukraine.
The world is united in support of Ukraine and against Russia's aggression.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken pledging financial aid for the growing refugee crisis while visiting a refugee reception center in Poland. More than half of the over 1.3 million refugees fleeing Ukraine have crossed into Poland, according to UN estimates. Civilians trapped in eastern and southern Ukraine unable to escape the fighting. The Ukrainian government accusing Russian forces of violating a ceasefire establishing humanitarian corridors. The Red Cross says the operation is postponed following Russian forces' continued shelling.
I am absolutely sure that the aim of Putin is to destroy Ukraine as a nation.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
As war ravages Ukraine, one of Madison's own is in the region to cover the story. This week we sat down with a former Cap Times reporter, now with the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Caitlin Farrell is in Poland near the border, and she's been covering the stories of the refugees leaving Ukraine and the Polish people that are helping them.
So all the major trains and, people trying to evacuate are coming out of Lviv in the western part of Ukraine. And so the train station here in Poland is really busy, and there's rooms and several rooms set up full of cots and blankets and people serving hot food. And so we spent a lot of time at that train station. Then we went to another border crossing called Medica, and that also has been really busy.
Naomi Coles will have her full conversation with Caitlin about what she's experiencing. That's coming up tomorrow morning on For the Record. And for the latest headlines out of Eastern Europe, make sure you've got our Channel 3000 News app. It's free and available in the App Store. Next tonight at 6, this is a look from a DOT camera this morning of the Wisconsin Freedom Convoy passing through Madison. The truckers are using a rolling rally to speak out against the government control, including COVID mask and vaccine mandates. Now, we spoke with members of the convoy as they made their stops in Sparta and Portage. Those involved say they want the freedom to be able to make their own choices when it comes to COVID safety.
We want it to stop. We want our freedoms back. We want our voices. And I think that's what it is. We want our voices heard.
Now, State Patrol said it collaborated with both county and local law enforcement agencies to monitor the convoy as they moved through Wisconsin. The truckers say they hope to meet other groups in Washington, D.C. next week. In more local news tonight, a portion of Highway 51 southbound was closed off for a few hours today after a crash knocked down a power pole. You'll see it right down to the right side of your screen. It took workers a few hours to repair that pole. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says only one car was involved in this crash. That car was towed away. The driver was arrested and then taken to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. A silver alert for a missing Richland County man has been canceled after he was found dead. Officials say 60-year-old Francis Johnston went missing on Monday. Officers haven't released a possible cause of death. A Walworth County Sheriff's deputy accused of sexual assault and stalking is resigning. Prosecutors charged Deputy Gerardo Baca with 19 felonies related to sexual assault of half a dozen victims. Many of them were co-workers over the last decade. A criminal complaint says one victim was just 17 at the time and met Baca when she was his intern.
Some of the counts involve allegations that he essentially assaulted the victims while they were incapacitated by alcohol and unable to defend themselves or protect themselves in any manner.
Some of the evidence also includes Baca's video recordings of these assaults and text messages with the victims. Baca is being held at Waukesha County Jail and bail is set at $500,000. A college professor in Milwaukee is out of a job. After the break, why he called his university leaders too woke and why students never want to see him back in the classroom. And coming up tonight at 10, Smokey John's wants to find its smoker after a Madison barbecue legend died and his decades-old grill was stolen. How Smokey John's longtime employees are trying to keep his dream alive. That's coming up tonight at 10.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. It's the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. And trust your heart to Entresto.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. Today, the Coopers are a cost-conscious couple. But back in the day, not so much. Now, saving is more their style, which is why they chose Consumer Cellular. They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. And award-winning customer service. Switch to Consumer Cellular today and get $25.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Wisconsin National Guard is celebrating a special birthday today. On this day in 1837, the Guard was founded by Henry Dodge, the governor of the Wisconsin Territory. Throughout its history, Wisconsin residents have demonstrated a willingness to put themselves in harm's way to protect both the state and their nation. And you may have saw the 115th Fighter Wing of the Air National Guard performing a flyover today on Madison's west side. The special flyover was in honor of Major Lowell Millisor, a World War II pilot who was buried today in Fitchburg. Millisor died on Monday, and he was 101 years old. Around the state tonight, officials at Concordia University outside of Milwaukee have suspended a professor over a controversial essay that he wrote. In the paper, the professor denounced school officials as woke in their search for a new president. Caroline Reinwald has the story.
In an essay published last month in the Christian News Missouri, Concordia University, Wisconsin professor Gregory Scholes criticized the university as being under the influence of woke culture. Scholes writes the search criteria for a university president committed to equity and inclusion and promoting racialized diversity in all its myriad forms are aggressive, progressive, woke mantras and are anti-Lutheran. According to an internal memo posted online, the university suspended Dr. Scholes 4 days later as it investigates allegations, including conduct unbecoming a Christian. Black student union members tell me they want to see Scholes fired and increased diversity and inclusion training on campus.
We were taught as children that God loves all colors, all ethnicities. He made us. So it kind of hurts that a professor here on campus, someone who wants to be in a position of leadership, is against that.
The fact that, including us is a threat in and of itself to whatever system he's believing in or whatever system he's operating under is a problem.
Others support the professor and what he wrote. An online petition with more than 5,300 signatures calls on the university to rescind and repent Scholes' suspension.
There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect here as Lutherans, as students, and as we grow to get our education.
In a statement to 12 News, the university says it's currently abiding by the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod dispute resolution process and can share no more information at this time.
In a letter to students last week, the school's president called the situation, quote, regrettable. Pack up those ice shanties. Still ahead at 6, what you need to know if you still have a shanty out on the lake this winter. Plus, there's an alert day in the forecast for more snow, how it might affect the start of your work week. Gary's back right after this.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been helping families create the homes of their dreams with the largest selection of quality furniture and mattresses. Steinhoffels always has the best brands at the guaranteed lowest prices. And during Steinhoffels' Best Brands, Best Prices sale, you'll take 35% off the largest selection of in-stock name brand furniture and mattresses. We have something for every style and every budget. It's the Best Brands, Best Prices sale at Steinhoffels. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
At ADP, we understand business today looks nothing like it did yesterday. While it's more unpredictable, its possibilities are endless. From paying your people from anywhere to supporting your talent everywhere. We use data-driven insights to design HR solutions and services to help businesses of all size work smarter today so they can have more success tomorrow.
It's Ford Truck Month, America. With new inventory arriving daily, it's time to get after it in a Ford F-150 and a Ford Ranger. Stop by your local Ford dealer today and let us help you custom order your truck your way. Then we'll get after building it. It's Ford Truck Month. Visit your local Ford dealer today. Order your F-150 to lock in 0% financing for 66 months and $500 cash, plus an extra $1,000 retailer order bonus.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, you can help clean up at Olbrich Park. For the past 2 months, there's been a huge labyrinth set up at the park using about 250 recycled Christmas trees. The project was supported by the City of Madison's Arts Commission. Cleanup tomorrow will be taking place from noon until 3 o'clock. A bookstore in downtown Madison is raising awareness for transgender rights. This weekend, a Room of One's own bookstore is donating 15% of all online and store sales to the tent. That's a nonprofit organization based in Texas working to support and protect trans people and their rights. This comes after Texas Governor Greg Abbott ordered child abuse investigations of parents of transgender kids. While this weekend's sale is one way to help out, bookstore employees hope this issue won't last long.
There are lots of organizations across the country that are helping, so hopefully in the future we won't have to do as many fundraisers like this.
This fundraiser is actually one of many that a Room of One's own hosts throughout the year. The bookstore is open from noon until 6 o'clock tomorrow if you'd like to help out. Today was a race for more than 250 runners who gathered at Henry Vilas Park to support a good cause. It was the 41st annual Freeze for Food race to support open doors and refugees in Madison. Money raised from this race registration and additional donations will support more than 100 families that have resettled into the Madison area. The group has supported refugee populations in our community since 2016. And as it warms up, a reminder tomorrow for all ice fishers, you need to remove those ice shanties from state waterways by the end of tomorrow. The DNR says that applies to inland waters south of Highway 64, which is 2/3 of the lower part of the state. All shanties statewide need to be removed by March 15th. But it still is going to feel like winter the next few days. Gary's back with your forecast.
And it feels like spring today. And when you start seeing those big temperature swings, you know the atmosphere is primed for some weather. And we're getting it now. In fact, the first severe thunderstorm warning of the year for us was for hail that was near Prairie du Sac. That storm now has raced northeastward, north of Fond du Lac. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for parts of Fond du Lac County. But to the south and west, there's a little bit of a break. Still seeing some showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. But farther to the south and west, the next round is going. And take a look at this. That's a tornado warning for an observed tornado near Newton, Iowa. Other tornado warnings now between Ottumwa and Des Moines. Severe thunderstorm warnings around Des Moines. So that's the next round of thunderstorms heading northeastward. So that bears some watching. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has just put out a new tornado watch until 11 p.m. just south and west of Grant County. That covers Dubuque County of northeastern Iowa. So I think the tornado threat will probably stay farther to the south. This is the Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook, an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms with the highest threat, the level 3 threat from about I-80 southward, but a slight risk through much of southern Wisconsin. I think for us, the main threat is going to be strong winds. Tornado threat, highest over southern Iowa. Still a chance for an isolated tornado as far northeastward to southwestern Wisconsin, but the better chances, I think, over eastern Iowa. The wind threat, higher as you head basically from southern Iowa into northeastward into southern Wisconsin. Hail threat, a little bit higher farther out to the west, but we'll probably see a round of thunderstorms later on this evening, probably probably somewhere between maybe 8 and midnight tonight. Tornado watch again in effect now until 11 p.m. for areas just south and west of Grant County, but to the north on this system, still ice storm warnings in effect for parts of north central Wisconsin, winter storm warnings to the west of there, and winter weather advisories around it. And we have an alert day, not for the severe weather, but for a snow threat. And this is going to be, actually that should be Sunday night into Monday morning for the possibility for 1 to 4 inches of snow. So here's the picture. Right now, we're on the warm side of the storm system. Showers, thunderstorms, some of those severe or at least producing strong winds. Those race northeastward, and by tomorrow morning, you might even see a couple of flakes of snow before the precipitation comes to an end. Cloudy, dry during the day tomorrow. Then the next part of the storm system heads northeastward, bringing snow across southern Wisconsin from Sunday night into Monday morning before that heads off to the north and east. And snowfall amounts probably from about 1 to 4 inches. The 4-inch amounts probably down toward the Illinois state line. North of the Dells, little in the way of accumulation. But again, just a sign that we've got a couple of seasons to contend with in 2 days. Wind advisory in effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for much of southern Wisconsin for winds that could gust to 45 miles per hour. Look for a low of 34 when the thunderstorms end. We could see a mix of precipitation late tonight before that comes to an end, and winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Tomorrow, high of 41, just cloudy during the day. But on future track, a couple of rounds of thunderstorms this evening. After midnight, those die down, and by Sunday, we're just looking at cloudy skies during the day. Then as we head into Sunday night, this is by early Monday morning, snow steady across much of southern Wisconsin. Then that moves out by Monday afternoon, and those snowfall amounts probably about 1 to 4 inches. Again, the heaviest amounts south and east of Madison. 7 to 10 day forecast, quiet weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. Another system could bring some accumulating snow from Thursday into Thursday night and early Friday morning. Temperatures will turn cold for the start of next weekend and then warm up with a chance for rain or snow as we head toward the end of the following weekend. So just a little bit of, just a few things to talk about, Brad.
Yeah, holy smokes. I was looking at some of the pre-show stuff, and it's all over the place.
Yeah. When you're dealing with severe weather and winter weather at the same time, it's tough.
Thank you for keeping it all straight for us. Thanks, Gary.
Sure.
And make sure you're staying up to date with the latest crazy weather on our First Warn Forecast weather app. It's available for download right now. We are heading into the thick of the high school winter tournaments. Boys State Hockey Championship taking place this afternoon. Edgewood is hunting its first title. Highlights are coming up next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Dry eye symptoms keep driving you crazy? Inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Let's kick Ken's ache and burn into gear.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those drops will probably pass right by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra? No!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid eye drop specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Be proactive about managing your symptoms by talking to your doctor about twice daily Xiidra like I did.
I prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Sunday morning, we'll have the latest updates on the conflict between Ukraine and Russia.
And after a stormy day on Saturday, we're looking for changes coming into our Sunday. We'll have your forecast from 6:30 to 8 tomorrow morning.
Is no stranger to the final face-off. It's the Badgers' 12th straight appearance, and of the last 7 WCHA titles, 5 of them have gone to UW. But if they want another, Wisconsin would need to get past longtime rival Ohio State. Now, these teams met for the regular season finale, where the Buckeyes completed the sweep. Now, this game right here is still in action, and it's on TVW. The Buckeyes are up 2-1 in the third period. We're going to have highlights tonight at 10. And down in Indiana, the Badger men's team made a statement in Game 1 of the Big Ten tournament just last night. They upset Notre Dame 3-1. Now these squads are back for Game 2 in the best-of-3 series. The Fighting Irish lead 2-1 in the second period. Again, we're going to have more from this game at 10. It's been almost 15 years since the Edgewood boys hockey team competed in the state championships. And with what the Crusaders are doing this season, it's no surprise that they're in the Division I state finals, now competing for the program's first title. Edgewood taking on the defending champions, the Hudson Raiders, also the same team they opened up the season to back in November. Hudson up 1-0 in the second period. Coming off the faceoff, Parker Mern fires from the blue line and lights the lamp. He ties things up at 1. Well, later on in the period, this game is knotted at 2. Matthew Maurer in the slot buries for Hudson's go-ahead. Raiders go on to win their second consecutive title, 6-2. Sectional finals for high school girls hoops. Winners head to state. Now out in Oregon, it's a battle between Reedsburg and Union Grove. Beavers on an absolute tear this afternoon. Macy Weeman finds her twin sister Mara behind the arc, drains a triple to give Reedsburg a 17-point lead. This team is all gas, no breaks. Reedsburg keeps its undefeated streak alive. They win 63-45 to advance to the state tournament for the second straight year. And out in DeForest for Division IV, Mineral Point going up against New Glarus. The Pointers dominated the first half, but wait, here come the Knights. Lindsay Schwadewalt stops and pops to cap off an 11-0 run. But Mallory Lindsay would not be denied. She relocates and cans the corner tray to take back the momentum. Now that puts MP up by 19. Mineral Point is headed back to the state tourney to try and cap off their perfect season with the title. Now, just one more home game for a trio of Badgers, but Sunday's matchup with Nebraska also presents a huge opportunity for the men's basketball team. Win, and they outright claim the Big Ten title. Lose, and they could potentially split it with Illinois. Well, the last time Wisconsin solely claimed the regular season title, that was back in 2015. But after clinching a share earlier in the week, the Badgers have no intentions of sharing this with anyone else.
My goal coming here was to compete for Big Ten championships and to make NCAA tournament runs and to absolutely enjoy the heck out of my college experience. And, you know, we've done that so far, but also I believe that the best is yet to come for this team. Sharing's like a really good value that everyone should do, but when it comes to Big Ten titles and in sports, no, we don't have time for that. So we're locked in and we're excited for another opportunity.
In addition to also that, it's going to be senior day, so those festivities get underway at 12:30.
Also, Jordan, before you go, great job with that game on Tuesday night. She was a part of the scrum that was on the court. So.
Thank you. Got other things.
Let's quickly take a look at weather here. Radar tornado warnings now in effect for parts of Iowa for a confirmed tornado. Those storms are heading northeastward, so we'll have to watch out Grant County, that area, within the next hour and a half.
All right, thanks so much. We're going to see you later on tonight at 10.